Every Christmas, the Nwosu family gathered under the mango tree in front of their old house in Umuagu village. The smell of jollof rice filled the air, laughter echoed, and children ran around with balloons. Yet, no matter how joyful the day was, there was one thing that never changed: the empty chair at the family table. Mama Nwosu would always place it beside her. She would wipe it clean with her wrapper and whisper, "Somto might come home today." Somto was her first son, who left the village 15 years ago after a heated quarrel with their father. He had sworn never to return. No one had heard from him since. Each year, Papa Nwosu would roll his eyes when Mama placed the chair. "He is gone. Stop living in the past," he would mutter. But Mama would smile softly and reply, "A mother never stops waiting." The younger ones, Adaeze, Chike, and Onyeka, had grown up hearing stories about Somto. To them, he was almost a myth. But some villagers said he had become rich in Lagos. Others claimed he died abroad. No one knew for sure. That Christmas, as the family sang carols, the wind blew hard, almost snuffing out the candles on the table. Mama looked up at the stars and whispered, "Wherever you are, my son, come home." The night felt strange, too quiet, too heavy, as if something was about to change. The next morning, Adaeze found Mama sitting alone beside the empty chair. Her eyes were wet. "I dreamt of Somto," Mama said softly. "He was standing by the river, calling my name." Adaeze tried to laugh it off, but goosebumps covered her arms. The river Mama mentioned, Eke River, was known for strange tales. Some said spirits wandered there at night. Later that day, an old man named Uncle Ikenna visited. He was Somto's childhood friend. "I saw someone who looked like your brother," he told Adaeze. "He was at the bus park in Nsukka, asking for directions to Umuagu." Adaeze's heart skipped. Could it be him? She ran to tell Mama, but Papa overheard it. "Don't raise false hope," he shouted. "If that boy wants to come home, he knows the way." But deep inside, even Papa felt uneasy. That night, thunder rolled in the distance and a stray dog howled near the gate. Mama sat by the chair, clutching Somto's old photograph. "Something is coming," she whispered. 3 days later, a stranger arrived in the village. He wore a faded brown jacket and walked with a limp. Dust covered his feet. No one recognized him at first, but he stopped at the Nwosu's gate and stared at the house for a long time. Adaeze, coming from the market, froze when she saw him. "Sir, who are you looking for?" she asked cautiously. The man's voice cracked. "This is Nwosu compound, isn't it?" Before she could answer, Mama stepped out, her wrapper tied high, her eyes wide. The basin she carried slipped from her hands as she whispered, "Somto." The man nodded weakly, tears streaming from his dusty face. Papa came out and stood still, his walking stick trembling. "You," he muttered, his face tightening. The silence that followed was heavy, thick with years of anger, guilt, and longing. Then suddenly, Somto collapsed. The family rushed him inside. He was burning with fever. His body was thin, his face hollow. Mama cried as she wiped his forehead. "You've come home, my son. You've come home." Somto whispered something they couldn't hear. Papa stayed by the doorway, refusing to move closer. Later that night, Adaeze sat by Somto's bed. He woke briefly and whispered, "I shouldn't have come back." "What do you mean?" she asked, frightened. He looked towards the window, his eyes wide with fear. "They followed me." Before she could ask who, he drifted back into unconsciousness. That night, the family dog barked endlessly. Something, or someone, was out there in the dark. When Somto finally regained strength, he told his story. He had joined a gang years ago after leaving the village, chasing fast money and a new life. But things went wrong. He betrayed his group and fled with something valuable, a gold chain that once belonged to their leader. They swore to find me, he said, his voice shaking. I've been running for years. Mama wept and held his hand. All that matters is that you are home. Papa, still cold, said, you've brought danger here. And indeed, danger was coming. That night, a black car drove slowly past their compound. No one inside could be seen. Somto froze when he heard the tires crunch the gravel. They found me, he whispered. At midnight, someone knocked on the gate. The knock was soft but firm. Knock, 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 knock. No one dared to answer. Papa peeped through the window and saw two men in dark jackets standing outside. Somto gripped Adeze's hand. If they see me, it is over. Mama began praying in whispers. Her rosary crushed tight. When the men realized no one would open, they left, but not before one of them dropped a small envelope through the gate. Inside was a picture of Somto, taken recently, with the words scribbled beneath, "We know where you are." By morning, Somto begged Papa to let him go before he brought trouble to the family. But Mama refused. No, you will not run again. We will protect you. Papa reluctantly called the village chief, who promised to alert the local police. That night, the family packed quietly, planning to hide Somto at their uncle's farm across the river. As they left, Somto stopped and looked at the chair by the table, the empty chair that once waited for him. I used to think no one cared, he said softly, but now I know. This chair kept me alive. Then, before dawn, they set out through the forest. Just as they reached the river bank, headlights flashed behind them. Voices shouted, "Stop there!" The family ran. Adaeze clutched Somto's arm, urging him to move faster, but his limp slowed him down. Gunshots echoed. The villagers nearby woke up to the chaos. Papa shouted, "Go! Cross the river!" Somto stumbled, gasping, "I can't leave you. I can't." But Papa pushed him into the canoe. "You must. This time, you will leave." The men arrived too late. The canoe was already drifting into the mist. Days passed. The police later caught the gang members in a nearby town. Somto was safe, but the price was high. Papa had been injured that night and died before dawn. The family mourned deeply. The empty chair was placed again that Christmas, this time for Papa. Somto sat beside it, silent, his heart heavy with guilt. "He saved me," he whispered. "The man I once hated died for me." Mama touched his shoulder. "Then honor him by living right," she said. A year later, Christmas came again. This time, laughter returned slowly. Somto had started a small carpentry business in the village. As the family gathered round the table, Mama looked at the chair that once stood empty. Somto pulled it closer and sat down. "This chair waited long enough," he said with a smile. Tears filled Mama's eyes, not of sorrow this time, but of peace. And as the candles flickered, it felt as though Papa was there too, smiling proudly from the other side of the light. Thank you for watching.